It usually happens when the house is quietest. Your cat suddenly freezes mid-step and locks onto a completely blank section of the wall. Or maybe they aren't looking at the architecture. You look up to find them sitting across the room, staring directly at you with a steady, unblinking focus that can go on for minutes. Most of us laugh it off. We assume they're glitching, being weird for the sake of it, or perhaps tracking a ghost we can't see. But your cat isn't hallucinating. The reality is that your home is filled with physical data that you are functionally blind and deaf to. That unbroken stare is a state of active processing. They aren't just looking. They are navigating a sensory overlay of the room that you simply cannot perceive. To understand the stare, we have to look at the hardware differences. When you and your cat look at the same empty space, you are receiving two different sets of information. Take hearing. Human ears cut off at 20,000 hertz. Cats hear up to 64,000, detecting electrical hums or pests in walls. Visually, a mirror-like layer called the tapetum lucidum reflects light through the retina, letting them see in environments 6 times dimmer. That amplified light makes all micro-movements obvious. A single dust particle drifting through a sunbeam or a shadow shifting by a fraction of a millimeter becomes a high-priority target for their brain. The ghost stare is actually the successful operation of a biological radar array. They aren't looking at nothing. They're scanning a rich, dynamic environment that is simply too quiet or too dark for you. If staring at the wall is about hunting, what is happening when they lock that gaze onto you? They're using 200 million scent receptors to process data you don't even know you're projecting. They can detect subtle changes in your stress hormones and shifts in your emotional state before you even speak. Posture provides the rest of the context. If their body is stiff and unblinking, they may be resource guarding their immediate space. If they're crouched low, they've transitioned into a play drive state where you've become the prey. They are currently performing active intelligence gathering. Every time they lock eyes, they are recategorizing your threat level, your mood, and your likelihood of providing a resource. This behavior sits at the center of an evolutionary struggle. Cats are apex micropredators, but they are also prey for larger animals. Survival in the wild depends on constant visual alertness. Because they are wired for vigilance, the act of willingly closing their eyes in the presence of a larger creature is a complete surrender of their primary defense system. This is why the slow blink is significant. Studies show this gesture lowers the cat's cortisol levels. It is a physiological confirmation that they no longer perceive you as a threat. It is always more than a quirk. It is a calculated suspension of every evolutionary instinct they have, used specifically to maintain a bond with you. But not all stares are communication. Some are indicators of a critical hardware failure. The first sign of trouble is in the pupils. If a cat is staring and their pupils have failed to constrict, even in a bright room, it signals a major internal issue. This is often linked to high blood pressure or hypertension. In cats, this can lead to retinal detachment, causing sudden blindness that leaves the cat staring into a void they can no longer navigate. You should also watch for a vacant expression. If the stare is paired with the cat bumping into furniture or appearing disoriented, it may indicate cognitive decline, similar to human dementia. A vacant, unresponsive stare is a system error. If the eyes aren't reacting to light, it is a medical emergency that requires professional intervention. We have to shift how we view our pets. The household cat is a hyper-aware sensory machine, operating on frequencies we can't naturally access. If your cat is tense, check the environment for noises or pests you might have missed. If they look lost or their pupils won't react, check their health with a vet. And if they're relaxed and they give you that slow, steady blink, return it. Recognizing the mechanics of that gaze changes your relationship. You aren't just sitting with a pet, you're coexisting with a creature that sees the